Howdy, glowworms. I've decided to start calling people who listen to my podcast glowworms. I've been trying to think of a term of endearment for my loyal listeners for a while now, and I couldn't think of one. And then earlier today, I was like, glowworms. That makes sense. That's on brand. So that's what you are now. I am in yet another room today. Today I am in like the photo studio at my job. And there's been like this intermittent loud bang from above, and I don't know what it is. So if that happens at some point during this episode, I am sorry in advance. I don't know what to do about it. I don't have access to the floor above me. I think they're doing some kind of like construction or remodeling or something, but I'm just like, why have there just been like a bunch of loud bangs just like every few minutes? It's just like boom, really, really loud. I'm like, okay, like I hope I'm not witnessing like a mob hit or something. It's probably fine though. Anyways, as you can see from the episode title, I wanted to talk about Tweakments this week, because I am back in LA, which is like the land of Tweakments. I swear, I like landed and immediately started getting ads on my phone for like Botox and facials. Like I literally had not thought about what a laser facial was until the past couple of weeks. It's insane here because, I mean, obviously it's like so many people here are models and actors. So many people are like content creators, and it's like a very aesthetically focused city. Because there's just a lot of people who are in the industry on some level, and everybody here says the industry. You're not just like in movies, and you're not just in fashion. No, you're in the industry, because everybody's like a model, actor, entrepreneur, multi-hyphenate, whatever, which is really cool. You meet some really interesting people. Every once in a while you meet some interesting people. But yeah, I wanted to sort of just talk about Tweakments and things I've thought about getting, things I haven't thought about getting, maybe some little horror stories. Maybe this should have been a Halloween episode. No, but but I wanted to just get into some of the other ways that people try to work on their appearance other than strictly skincare things. So it's going to be a mix of sort of really skincare focused things, and then other things that are just sort of like aesthetic focused in general. So I figured I'd start with one of the classics, which is Botox. Good old Botox, been around for forever. I looked up what it stands for because I was like, I need to remember the full name of Botox, and it's the botulinum toxin. And I guess this, like, it's something like in nature, like I don't remember. I somehow looked that up too and completely forgot by now, but like it's like some fungus or animal or something produces this toxin that is a powerful paralytic. So yeah, literally just wherever you inject it, you're not going to be able to use those muscles. And so basically it stops the whatever expressiveness of your face, of your facial features, and therefore stops you from creating more wrinkles, creating more fine lines, which is like actually really cool. Like when you think about it, it's like, wow, yeah, like instead of trying to like, I don't know, get a facelift, get something more invasive, you can kind of just prevent any wrinkles from even forming by not letting your face move, by not letting that skin move. Because I think we've all, everybody's had like some leather apparel item, whether it's real leather or not. Like if there's always a part of it that creases, you very quickly begin to see where it is. If you have like a leather wallet, there's like and it's like a folding wallet. You see the fold in it really quickly, of course. And over time, it's the same as wrinkles. And if you were to never ever fold or unfold your leather wallet, then it would take way longer to create any kind of crease there, right? If anything at all. So yeah, I feel like Botox has been very popular recently for younger and younger people. I don't even want to just say women, because I feel like it's like really they're trying to, when I say they, I mean like the beauty industry is trying to normalize it for everyone. Obviously, the more people who get it, and the more sales there are, and you know, it's literally just volume. It's just supply and demand, and making more money off of more people wanting to look young forever. But I don't know. I feel I have mixed feelings about it. I have started to notice like fine lines in my forehead. Really nothing major for me. I'm literally in my late 20s. Like, I am very expressive. It's not crazy to me that I would start to see fine lines. But I've also been like, maybe, you know, in the next couple of years I will like get some old like baby Botox. That's what they call it when you just get like a little bit. It's like for like us 20 somethings, just like baby Botox. Just to like prevent those fine lines from getting any deeper. But I'm also like, do I really want to spend a bunch of money? That would probably run me like $300-$400 just to paralyze my forehead so that I don't get fine lines. I don't know. $300-$400 in the grand scheme of things, not that much money. But then when you think about like, wow, that's like easily like a month of groceries, I don't know. That's really up to you. That's about perspective. So I was thinking about it, but then I sort of looked into it more. And I'm like the queen of things that other people have no issues with. Like, I'll have the most random side effect. Like I brought up before how birth control, like in like 5% of people, it causes these like insane migraines. And I was one of those people. I was like, of course I would get crazy migraines from birth control. I've never heard of any of my friends experiencing this. And I got like crazy mood swings and everything. And I was like, everyone else I know, birth control is either neutral or it helps them. For me, absolute hell on earth. So I was like, well, let's look up some of the like random side effects of Botox, some of the common ones and the less common ones. Apparently it's very common to get, here's my little list: brain fog, headaches, dizziness, and anxiety. Like, those are like not like common in that everybody's going to experience them, but like, you know, like a good chunk, a good, you know, percentage, I guess, of people experience at least one of those side effects. And I don't know, like, would I experience one of them? I am gonna have to try Botox at least once just to find out. Because on the other hand, there are also women who've been like, I got Botox for my like fine lines or wrinkles or whatever, and then this like chronic migraine issue I had went away. So it can also like help with migraines. And like now, you know, they get it not just for the aesthetic purpose, but also to address this like chronic pain issue that they have. And I find that like super interesting and cool. And I think it'd be crazy if I like went in and got Botox and then like some random other issue that I didn't even really like notice anymore went away. And I'd just be like, oh, that wasn't supposed to be there all this time. And then also another benefit that I can potentially have that you wouldn't expect, I always tell people about this too, is that if you have hyperhidrosis, which means if you like sweat excessively, you can actually get Botox in your armpits or even, you know, in whatever area where you have excessive sweat, and it like makes you not sweat anymore. Obviously like on some level. Like you can't just like get it everywhere and just like never sweat again. Like that's not, like sweating is important for your body regulating its temperature and like not like overheating, you know? But yeah, that's really cool because people will be like, oh, I sweat so much in the summer and it's gross and there's no antiperspirant that works for me. And I'm like, you should see if you can just get Botox in your armpits and it'll stop you from sweating. Like you literally physically won't be able to sweat there. So that's super cool. But yeah, like overall, I'm like, that's one of the ones that I also would consider actually getting in real life because it's been around for so long. And I'm like, if I just go to somebody who's experienced, you know, and like I'll pay like a little bit more to go to like somebody who's like a more experienced esthetician or nurse or whatever, like they're not gonna mess it up, you know? Like it's probably gonna go just fine. And it's not crazy. It's whenever something's like brand spanking new, it's been on the market for like a year or like maybe even if it's been out for like 3-4 years, that's when I'm like, how many people have really been trained in this? And like, have they really done the research to make sure that they like know all of the potential risks? And like, if it's only been on the market for like a year or two, how many patients has somebody really done whatever like tweakment on? Like how many people have they actually done Botox on? How many people have they done a laser facial to? Am I gonna end up like in some like on an episode of Botched or something? So so that's one of the things about Botox. I'm like, it's been around since like Nom. Like I actually don't know when it's been around, like how long it's been around exactly, but like anything that I saw on Sex and the City, like from the 90s, I'm like, oh, so that's been around for 20-30 years? Cool. Like, say less. We know, like, we've got it down pat, you know? The ladies, we've got this. We've been doing this. And I can also, of course, ask, like, people, you know, who've gotten it done before, like, hey, did anything crazy happen? Do you have any long-term things that happened that you weren't expecting? And Botox is one of those things where it's kind of like, if you want it to keep working, you of course have to like maintain it on some level. And you can also just like not, like you can get it done once and decide whether or not it's for you. And if it's not, you just never do it again. And it just eventually wears off. I don't remember how long it takes to wear off. I think it's like 6 to 12 months or something. Yeah. And then once it wears off, if it wasn't for you, then you're done. It's a little bit weird to purposely put a toxin into your face, but people have been doing it. They're fine. I don't know about when I personally might try it. I'm thinking maybe for like my 30th birthday, maybe I'll do it because then I'll be like, hey, big 3-0. I'm quote unquote getting old, even though 30 is not old. Like time for me to gift myself a little tweakment, a little something. But yeah, I've heard of people getting it at like 25 or even earlier than that. I think that's a little unnecessary personally. I mean, if you already do have fine lines, I guess, yeah, you could do that. I would also, but at that point in my life, I'm like, I'm looking into other things to address having fine lines. Because if you're 20, like early 20s, and you already are worried about wrinkles like that, then it's like, maybe you should, maybe you need like a different like lifestyle or habit change. Like maybe like Jeffree Star, the controversial icon himself, he said once that he like early on just trained himself out of having facial expressions. Like he just trained himself to not move his face. So he just like doesn't have wrinkles. Like he hasn't, like he probably has had some, you know, whatever fillers or whatever other stuff done. But he's just like, yeah, I just at some point trained myself to not move my forehead. And I'm like, that's genius and terrifying. And like maybe if you're like 22 and you're like, do I need to have preventative Botox? Maybe you should just have preventative facial expression training instead. And then, later on, if you're still like, dang, these fine lines are kicking my butt, then maybe you get Botox. But like, don't go spending your money on something that you like don't even really need, or that you could totally address differently at that point in your life, right? I don't know, to each their own. So that's my first one. That's my big one. That's the one that I really write down, like, yo, am I about to try this? Then next, also a Sex and the City fave. There's an episode of Sex and the City where Samantha gets this. It's chemical peels. And in the episode, it's very funny because they really, obviously it's not real. If this happened in real life, I'd be so angry. But in the episode, she gets a chemical peel, and they must have just not explained to her anything about it, because they were just like, it'll take 10 years off your face. And she was like, OMG, like, throw it on me. I don't care. And then, of course, she goes through the entire process of, like, being super red, and then her skin's peeling off, and she just, like, looks terrifying. Because that's what chemical peels do. They basically sort of, like, in a very controlled way, burn off, chemically burn off the top layer of your skin, which sounds so horrifying, but like that's what they do. And it reveals all of like the like fresh baby skin underneath, and it's great to like get rid of texture and spots and things like that. Of course, it's time for the classic Lena special of, if you get a chemical peel, you better be using sunscreen. Because your like brand new like skin is also like, if your skin's literally burnt off and peeling, like it's gonna be super sensitive to the sun, and you're gonna be super prone to getting sunburnt, to any kind of like hyperpigmentation, like whatever, and of course, more serious skin conditions caused by overexposure to the sun. So, they're basically like, if you get a chemical peel, you kind of have to just like the first, I think, day or two, you'll just look like really red or something. And then after that, your skin starts peeling off in like chunks, and you're not supposed to like help it along. Like, some people like to kind of try to like very gently cut off like any flaps that are already fully off their face, just to like make it a little more reasonable. But like some dermatologists and estheticians are even like, don't even do that. Literally just let it fall off by itself, which means you're gonna look like you got in a fight with a paper bag for like a week. So you kind of have to stay home through the process of the skin peeling off your face. So, that's like maybe not for everyone. I mean, now in our like economy of a lot of people working from home, that might be more plausible. You get like a chemical peel like on a Friday afternoon, stay in over the weekend, and just like rest and like moisturize the hell out of your skin, or whatever your like the skincare professional tells you to do. You like work from home for the rest of the week. Maybe don't put on your camera for Zoom meetings. Then the next weekend, hopefully all or most of like your skin peeling is over, and you can like go back outside. Ideally, no one would ever even see you with flaps of skin just like falling off your face. And like, that's cool. I don't know how anybody outside of like a straight up like housewife could do this before like work from home was a common thing. Like, I'd have to take like a staycation just to do this, because I'm not going out in public like that. And I don't think I've ever personally seen anybody out in public looking like they just got a chemical peel. So I don't know. If you have, please let me know. DM me on Instagram. Like, literally give me the tea, because like I don't think I've ever actually witnessed somebody in real life. I've just seen videos of women on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, talking about their experience and things. So next thing on my list, I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, and that's laser facials. And laser facials are like chemical peels, like more chill little sister. I don't know how new they are. When I say I truly like hadn't, I think I like saw a couple ads when I was back in Pittsburgh, but otherwise I hadn't really thought about them, hadn't really like heard anyone talk about them. Now I swear it's like everywhere in LA. It must be like the new trendy thing. It's gonna hit Pittsburgh in like 6 to 12 months. Everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, have you heard of laser facials? And I'll be like, girl, please, like that's so 2024. But yeah, it's there. So basically, I think that there's like a couple of different types of lasers. There's like an oxygen one, and I think there's like a light one or like infrared one or something. But yeah, you're just like blasting your face with like these high energy, I don't know, like beams, blasts, lasers, whatever. I don't know how it like really specifically works. I didn't look into it. I was like, that's not my job. Could I like look into it? Yes. Would I understand it? Yeah. I got a STEM background. I would. I was like, I can't be bothered. But it like basically, does the similar thing of like treating that top, layer or two of your skin. Apparently there's like different types of laser facials. There are kinds that help with redness and rosacea. There are kinds that help with hyperpigmentation, and there's a kind for like the texture or skin tone. So yeah, depending on, what your skin needs are, it could be a really good, more like, like lower intensity option for people. Apparently it allegedly doesn't really hurt. I think they might like blow cool air on your face at the same time as it's like doing it, so it doesn't like hurt too much or burn or anything. And there's like a 3-day downtime instead of like a week like the chemical peel. And that's great because then you can kind of like do it over the course of a weekend and like nobody would see you and like you could stay out of the sun and everything. But it does mean that they recommend multiple sessions. And I don't know the pricing for each of these things. Like I don't know the pricing of a chemical peel versus a laser facial, but that sounds like it's going to be expensive. I feel like a chemical peel, if I did that like once every year or two, that wouldn't be super crazy. But if I'm getting a laser facial every like 6 weeks, that's going to add up. So I don't know. That is something that I would like to try at some point, maybe, but definitely not now in my life. Like it's one of those things where if in 10 years it's still around and I want to try it and I'm making, some good money and everything, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go out and do it. And then last but not least for today, since I'm just going to do a part 2 of this, because there's so many Tweakments, dear Lord, there's so many things that we market to people for aesthetics. Anyways, last but not least for today, I want to talk about laser hair removal. Now, this is actually the only one of these things that I have gotten done, and I am getting done. So I guess I'll talk about my experience really quick. So right now I'm in the process of getting my armpit hair laser removed. Why, Lena, you might ask? Because I just don't, there's a few reasons. I just don't like shaving. I don't really like shaving any part of my body, but like my armpits are especially annoying, and I don't like having hair there. Like, I don't like growing in my hair there. It just like, I don't know. I'm not against like people and women and anyone like having armpit hair. It's natural. Like, it's not like it's not supposed to be there or something. I don't know why people act like it's gross. But like personally, I like, if you've seen me, you can see that I already don't even have hair on my head. Like, I literally don't like body hair in general. I don't like when other people's body hair touches me. It's really at the point where I don't even find, like, men with long hair attractive. Like, really long hair, not like, yeah. We won't get into that, but it's like, truly, I'm just like dude who I think is attractive in general, like, with long hair, I'm like, okay, yeah, like, he looks good. He shaves his head, I'm like, oh shit, like, wait, I didn't mean to curse, but I'm just like, oh my god, yes, like, the less hair the better. I don't know. I just have, like, something, like, I have a personal vendetta against hair, but I'm also, like, I am not going to police anybody else's hair preferences. Some women love a super hairy dude. Some people love, like, growing out their leg hair and their armpit hair and everything. They don't care. Because it's natural. Like, it's fine. And, like, I'm very to each their own. So, yeah, it's really just me, myself, and I. Like, I don't like having armpit hair. And so I would always shave it, but I'm also extremely prone to ingrowns. So for, like, there was literally, I think, like, last summer, which is part of the reason I started getting laser hair removal there, I ended up with this, like, painful ingrown, like, hair in one of my armpits, and it just, like, wouldn't go away because I, like, kept shaving, and I don't know, it just, like, ended up being, like, painful and annoying. And when it finally passed towards the end of the summer, it had been, like, 2 months of me having this thing, and I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I really about to, like, do an extraction on my armpit? But it, like, hurt, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna, like, squeeze it. And I, like, finally just, like, naturally, I think I, like, started using like, salicylic acid toner on my armpits. Like, I would, like, double cleanse my armpits, use a salicylic acid toner, and like, that was, like, the only way to help with the ingrowns. And that is a really good, effective way to help with ingrowns anywhere on your body. That helps with, like, sort of clogged pores and stuff like that, anywhere on your body. So if you have, like, back knee, like, you can always use, like, salicylic toner on that. And so on and so forth. But I was like, you know what would be so much better than me having to shave my armpits, like, every other day, because, of course, also my armpit hair grows super fast. I was like, what if I, like, just didn't have armpit hair? And then I went on vacation with my dad and his wife and her sister-in-law. And her sister-in-law, this is my dad's wife's sister-in-law, she was like, oh, yeah, like, I also hated shaving. So way back when, like I think she said probably, like, 15 years ago or something, she got her armpits lasered. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that laser hair removal had been around that long. But this woman, it lives in New York. So, you know, obviously LA, New York, these are the cities where they've got all of the newest, like, aesthetic procedures and tweakments and stuff. They always have them super fast. They have them first. So she's had this for years. And she, like, lifted up her arm. Literally, I think she had, like, 2 random fine hairs that, like, had, like, somehow managed to survive. And that was it. Like, otherwise it was just completely smooth. And I was like, oh my god, that's what I need. Like, if I had one hair that I had to tweeze, like, once a month, and that was it, are you kidding me? I'd be so happy with that. Or if I just, like, had, like, the tiniest amount of peach fuzz or something under there, like, you know, like, I just, like, wouldn't shave, or I would hardly ever shave. And she was like, yeah, no, it's, like, super effective. And I mean, she hasn't had to, like, get it redone or anything. I think some people have to get it redone sometimes if they, like, didn't go through as many sessions as they needed the first time around. But she did it. And I was convinced. I was like, you know what? It's a little bit pricey, but it's really not that bad. It's in the grand scheme of things, truly not that bad, and it will save me so much time. I just have to go through, it's going to be about a year total of me getting these treatments. So I started back in August, I want to say. I went in and they have to make sure that your hair contrasts your skin enough. So if you have like light hair and fair skin, it's not going to work. But if you are like me and you have like really dark hair, and I mean, I don't have like super dark skin, I'm basically right in the middle of like the skin tone range of everyone ever. I had like plenty, especially like under my armpits where the skin is pale, I had plenty of contrast. So they were like, yeah, you're a great candidate for it. It'll definitely be effective on you. So yeah, I started back in August. It does hurt. If you have like a high pain tolerance, you'll be fine. For me, honestly, I'd say it's like around the same as getting a tattoo, which means that if you were to get laser hair removal somewhere where like getting a tattoo wouldn't hurt that much, like your thigh or something, or like your bicep, like the outer part of your arm, it's going to hurt that much and it's going to be like uncomfortable, but not that bad. Of course, your armpits are freaking sensitive, so it has not been pleasant, to be completely honest. It does hurt, but it's super fast because it's a really small area. So it literally just takes them like, it's probably literally like 30 seconds, but it feels like 2 minutes when the technician does it. But they're always super quick and super professional, and I'm always like, at each armpit, I just need to like hold my breath, do like a little break in the middle of it, deep breath, and then like hold my breath and just like grit my teeth and bear it. And then it's over, and it's super quick. And I've been doing it since August. I get it done every other month, and I have like hardly any hair already on my armpits. And yeah, that's after 4 or 5 sessions, and this Friday is gonna be my next session. So I'm not excited, but I'm also excited that like I think I'm supposed to get like 6 to 8 sessions, and I have a feeling they're just gonna like make me do all 8, which but I'm like over halfway done with it. So I'm like, okay, at least I only have a couple more, and then I never have to do this again, and I never have to shave my armpits again, and I won't get painful ingrown hairs every summer when I'm, because that's the time of year when I'm like very consistently shaving under there because I'm, wearing short sleeves and swimsuits for the entire season. But yeah, I mean, I like it overall. I actually would recommend it. Like, if you really want to get an area lasered, you can kind of get almost any area of hair lasered. I know some people get their entire legs done. Some people get their entire arms done. I will not be doing that. Like, I'm not made of money, and also I don't mind shaving my legs. Like, it's not a big deal for me. I don't get ingrowns on my legs. Knock on wood. But yeah, I also do have like a little at home IPL like portable device, which it's like the same technology but not as powerful as the one that they use in the office. And I've been using that one for my like upper lip and chin because I do be Latina and I do be having that upper lip hair. It is like not subtle, especially when I'm as pale as I am right now. Like end of winter, I'm like, oh my Lord, you can see my upper lip hair so clearly. And I would sometimes like just like shave my face a little bit, and that works just fine. But I do get little like tiny whiteheads sometimes. I guess just because like it's like brand new skin, like I'm taking off a layer of skin, and there's probably like little like mini tiny ingrowns and stuff. As I said, super prone to ingrowns. So I don't like doing that. But I've had this little like laser device for like 3-4 years. I just haven't used it for no real reason. I think it was partially because I wasn't sure exactly how, and the thing has like a bunch of levels on it for like how strong of like a laser you want to do. And when I first tried it, I tried it at like the like second or third level, and it didn't do much. And I was like, oh, maybe it just doesn't work for me. But then now that I've gotten like the underarm laser hair removal and seen how like flippin' painful that is, I was like, oh, I need to turn up the power level on this thing to see any results. So I did, and now it kind of just feels like a rubber band snap. At the level that I've been using it, I think I can go like a level or two higher if I wanted to, but I'm like, I don't want to accidentally burn my face, so I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna not overdo it. So the level I've been doing it at, yeah, it just like gets kind of hot, feels like a little rubber band snap, and it effectively has been like singeing off my upper lip and chin hair, and I'm good with that. As long as it's not like super grown in, I'm fine with that. Once again, if you don't want to like take off your upper lip hair, who cares? I know that if I wax it, I'll break out in the area. If I shave it, I'll break out in the area. I don't like putting like those hair creams on my face really, because sometimes that irritates my skin, because of course it does. Once again, queen of side effects, super sensitive skin. So I don't do that. And this is what's working for me at the moment, and I'm going with it. So yeah, laser hair removal. Pretty dope, pretty cool. Would like to maybe potentially get it done on my face someday. But yeah, just no large areas. And it's permanent, which is super cool. Unlike a lot of the other Tweakments, or any of the other Tweakments really that I've mentioned today, that one's permanent. So like once you pay that amount, it's done. And I think basically all places where you can get it done, they kind of have like a guarantee, so that if your hair does start growing back, like you just go back and like get a couple more treatments, and it's like a lifetime guarantee kind of thing. So yeah, it's like one of the more like, like low intensity, low risk Tweakments that you can get. And it's the only one for today that I'm gonna actually recommend. But yeah, that was part 1 of Tweakments. I have like notes, like I have a list of the like other ones that I'm gonna cover next week, and these are gonna be the ones where I'm like, I can't recommend these. Like the ones today, I'm like, if you want to get these, go for it. Like, be careful, but like try it out if that's what like you really want to do. And then next week, is gonna be more of the things where I'm like, you should double, triple, quadruple check with every aspect of your life before you do these, if you really want to do these. Yeah, but thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna end it here. I don't wanna make this episode too long. Oh my God, yeah, I'm already at 38 minutes. Dear Lord. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you don't get anything crazy done to your face. Y'all are already all little cuties. You're cute little glowworms. So don't overthink it, and don't spend money on things you don't need. Things that aren't really even going to make you happy. But if it really, really makes you happy, then it is probably worth the investment. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.